Hi everyone, welcome back to E-commerce Success by At360. Today we're going to review a breaking news. Google announced today they're going to sunset the main Google Analytics generation, which is Universal Analytics, or UA for short, in favor of the new standard GA4. We're going to see what this means, what are the implications for your business, what's the difference between UA and GA4, and what you need to do and how fast you need to act. Before we do that, if you enjoyed these videos, please like, subscribe, and comment below. All these actions are going to help us grow the channel so that we can make as many business owners as possible happy, productive, and successful. Okay, this video is brought to you by At360. At360 is the easiest way to increase your sales online by managing in one place all your Google ads, your Facebook ads, your mobile app ads, and your website ads, including retargeting, geo-targeting, hyper-local targeting ads, and many other forms of advertising which are made super simple to manage thanks to At360. Everything in one place, easy to implement, easy to manage, optimize so that you get the best sales and the most results possible. Okay, let's now jump in today's topic. So I'm going to review this article from the Google Marketing blog. The link will be in the description below. And so Google titles this Prepare for the Future with Google Analytics 4. So this was published today. And so that's from Russell Ketchum, the Director of Product Management for Google Analytics. So for those that don't know, Google Analytics is by far the most used solution to measure on what's going on your website, your app, or any other online property, a blog, wherever you have online, whether it's a website, a blog, a mobile app, a business, you probably have analytics installed on it. That's probably the most used Google solution by business owners. And so Google Analytics measures what's going on your website, where people go, which pages they see, or which actions they take on your mobile app. It helps you understand what's going on, what people are doing or not doing, where they're coming from. It's a super helpful tool all around. And so 2.5 years ago, they introduced Google Analytics 4, in short GA4, to measure things in a more dynamic way. So they're saying people are increasingly becoming multi-platforms users. They might start reviewing a website on their mobile, and then they check it on the desktop or laptop, then they have their tablet. And it used to be more difficult to reconcile this user journey. That's what we call that, when a certain individual is visiting your website or your app on different devices. Making sense of all of that and understanding it's the one and same user on all these devices is not super straightforward. And so Google introduced this GA4, Google Analytics 4, 2.5 years ago, to introduce a new standard that would make it more flexible and more easy to measure all these different kinds of data on different devices, different workflows, and different journeys. Okay. So what's the big deal? For a very long time, since the introduction of GA4, you could use GA4, so this new standard, in addition of the previous standard, which was Universal Analytics, or UA. And so Universal Analytics has been around for a very long time, so this was the previous generation of analytics. And it's still, to this day, the most used standard and form of the Google Analytics product. And now what's new today is Google announced they will be sunsetting Universal Analytics next year. And so actually on July 1st, 2023, all the Universal Analytics properties, so websites, apps, and everything else where you can have Google Analytics with Universal Analytics connected, will stop processing new hits. You won't be able to measure any more new activity past this date. So basically it's going to be shut down. Even the Analytics 360, which is a different product, which I'm not going to discuss in details today, is also going to end next year, albeit a bit later, on October 1st, 2023. So what this means is you have to start looking into moving from Universal Analytics to GA4, Google Analytics 4. So it's otherwise, it's going to become obsolete and you're no longer going to be able to measure what's going on your website. So for a long time, they were pushing GA4 as the new standard and the new best way to do things. However, Universal Analytics is still by far the most common form of analytics out there. For all the people that started their business a while ago, they probably still have Universal Analytics. And even for new businesses nowadays, because in some cases, integrations are still easier with, for example, Shopify or other e-commerce platforms. People up to this moment would still prefer installing Universal Analytics. So now that has to change. So from today, knowing that this product has a sunset date scheduled, you have to start thinking about moving to Google Analytics 4. So now we do have some time to make the move. So we have about 1.5 years, a bit less than that actually. But it's good to start making plans to make that transition. And for a period of time, you can actually have both products at the same time. And you can verify that the implementation is correct and that you're seeing the same measurements on both sides before you sunset yourself the Universal Analytics. Okay, I'm not going to read through the entire article, but I will put the link in the description below. I'm just going to pass through the title. So Google in this article also explains what are the benefits of GA4 and why they're pushing this and sunsetting the previous version. So in Google eyes, the new standard Google Analytics 4 is better for return on investment measurement with data-driven attribution, especially in the case of these complex user journeys I mentioned before. So if people have, the customer journey, you see, if they have come on your website on different devices, made different actions, and then they make a purchase after a while, it might not be super straightforward to know which of these actions actually generated the sale. So they think it's going to be easier to do that with GA4. You're going to be, better able to measure engagement and conversions with business and compliance needs in mind. So what does this mean? This is that the new product supposedly better handles the country level privacy controls like GDPR in Europe or the Californian Privacy Act in California, and all these other jurisdictions which are increasingly getting more protective of data and of cookies use and this kind of stuff, which is good for users' privacy. But sometimes it hurts the ability to measure precisely what's going on. So Google is saying that with GA4 it will be easier to do that. You're going to get greater value from your data and activate your insights more easily, the measurement and all that. So basically, in a nutshell, you're going to make better decisions, especially when you need to handle complex data governance or complex user journeys with more flexibility. Okay. So what happens next? So you have to make that transition. I will also link this Help Center resource from Google, which explains how you can make the switch to Google Analytics 4. Okay, they have a lot of great resources, great articles. They give you a ton of help. And if you still need more information, tell me in the comment below if you'd be interested in seeing a practical case of how to implement Google Analytics 4 and a deep dive into the more specific differences between UA and GA4. Okay, hope you liked the video. I hope you understood everything I mentioned. Hopefully it makes sense. The good news is we still have some time, like a bit less than 1.5 years to make the transition. But the bad news is you absolutely have to take actions and you have to prepare that. It's absolutely mandatory, because otherwise you're not going to be able to measure what's going on your website or your app anymore. So hopefully that was helpful. If you want to learn more about Google and analytics, search engine optimization, and advertising, There is a bunch of videos. I will put some links in the description we've made on this channel. A few videos on how to ensure your website is better indexed by Google and serves more frequently as a response to user queries, how to rank higher, what changes to make on your website to have richer content in the eyes of Google, and the best way to run advertising campaigns to get better results. And we'll continue to produce daily content. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the little bell icon to get notified whenever we release a new video so that you are first on the video to get all the new tips that we have to share. Thank you, have a great day, see you soon, bye.